Good evening. We're glad you could join us. Stakeholdership, with all its commitment and responsibilities in the oil and gas industry, is sometimes not enough. In fact, the major lubrication for stakeholdership is relationship and collaboration. That's how to explain the downstream wonder for petroleum products availability across the country. NNPC and Moman have pledged to stick together to sustain the better days going forward and better gains for the major marketers. The ex-depot price of petrol is and remains 133 naira 28 kobo, and depot owners are want to keep it at that to avert ripple effect. NNPC commends leadership of host communities of Nigeria for restoring peace in Niger Delta. Plus, remember SAP, Systems Application and Products in Data Processing. The corporation had deployed this for quite a while now. It's got some rewarding acknowledgements. The NNPC was also counted at the 40th Kaduna International Trade Fair to showcase some of her services. There are more stories. I'm Akin Agbujile. This is Oil and Gas Forum.
With McKenty coming on board, there is stability in the rate of fuel supply. That is a good plus. And two, drivers or users, motor owners can go into filling stations and buy fuel, get out of the filling station without hazard.
What is this? This is oil well. Oil well? This is what the Ghanaians called black gold. There is plenty money in this business. By this time tomorrow, I'm going to buy a brand new chip. Chip? Next month, I'm going to buy a whole house. House? Yes. You need to show me the way. Show us the way. You mean you want to be rich? Oh, yes. You want to level up? Oh, yes. You see, the ones there, let's go and pack it. And after that, I will take you there. Let's go. Hello? Okay? So, sir. Sir, these people have started their operation again. I beg, send me 5 battalion FG guys. Thank you, sir. So, sir, you can buy everything you want to buy. I will buy a shop. You are under arrest. Your hand on your head. If you move, I move you. Let me warn you all. Anybody or community that is involved in vandalization of our oil pipeline will face the wrath of the law.
NNPC, we touch your lives in many positive ways.
Let's check the highlights. NNPC Moman strengthens collaboration to ensure steady supply of petroleum products. Depot owners want to maintain status quo in terms of ex-depot price of petrol. State Oil Company commends leadership of host communities of Nigeria for restoring peace in Niger Delta. GMD charges new president of African refiners on efficiency. Details coming. The Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Dr. Ibeka Chiku, has been re-elected as the President of African Petroleum Producers Organization, APO, to December 2019, in a move that will allow him conclude the ongoing reforms and restructuring of the organization. This marks a historic moment for the organization, as it is the first time that a country and a minister are allowed to provide its leadership direction 3 times within 3 years in a period of 5 years. The re-election took place during the 36th ordinary session of the Council of Ministers of APO, which held in Malabo, Equatorial Guinea, under the high patronage of His Excellency Obiang Nguema Mbasogo, the President of the Republic of Equatorial Guinea. In his speech, Dr. Kachiku commended the unalloyed support that he had received from the members of the Council, while affirming his commitments to making deep and sustained reforms that will not only guide its members to make the best returns on investment in its energy business, but also firmly reposition APO as a global force.
The Abuja-Kaduna-Kano AKK gas pipeline project received a major boost as the Kaduna State government pledged to join forces with the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, to ensure effective optimization of the project by stakeholders across the state. The Kaduna State Governor, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, declared the support while hosting the Group Managing Director of the NNPC, Dr. Mekanti Baru, at the Sir Kashim Ibrahim House in Kaduna. Governor El-Rufai described the AKK as a very important project to Kaduna State, noting that the people of Kaduna are happy that the project is coming on because Kaduna State is a zone with huge power ambitions. He also said the state will welcome the emergence of more independent power plants, IPPs, and is ready to provide land to achieve that. He called on the NNPC to build more retail outlets within Kaduna State, assuring that his administration will provide the much-needed incentives, including land, to make that a reality. He commended NNPC for sustaining Nigeria's economy over the years, even as he said Kaduna Refinery remains one of the highest taxpayers in the state. On his part, the GMD, who congratulated Malam El-Rufai on his recent success at the state polls, said the NNPC is open to partnership with state governments and other stakeholders towards the success of the AKK pipeline project.
The AKK will give another opportunity for industries that are heavily energy dependent, like the textile industries, to be able to tap gas into their premises and be able to fire their boilers and also generate electricity in situ. So the moribund textile industries in Kaduna, we expect that with the coming of the AKK, they will all revive and be up and running.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, has said that it would support ongoing initiative by the federal government to diversify the nation's economy through agriculture by providing the much-needed fulcrum for the attainment of a mutually beneficial relationship between agriculture and industries. Speaking at the NNPC Special Day at the just concluded 40th Kaduna International Trade Fair in Kaduna, Group Managing Director of the corporation, Dr. Mekanti Baru, said as the national oil company, the NNPC would continue to provide the enablers for the actualization of Nigeria's massive agricultural potentials in line with the aspirations of President Muhammadu Buhari for the sector. The NNPC GMD, in a presentation entitled Consolidating the Interface Between Industry and Agriculture for Nigeria's Sustainable Development, the role of NNPC, listed some of the achievements to include the provision of gas to power industries as captured in the 614-kilometer Ajaokuta-Abuja-Kaduna-Kano pipeline, AKK project, which process of award began in July 2017 and conceived as an integral part of a Trans-Nigeria gas project.
In order to bridge the medium-term domestic gas supply deficit for 2020, the NNPC 7 critical gas development projects have also been identified. The desired outcome of this initiative would boost domestic gas supply from the current 1.5 billion standard cubic feet per day to 5 billion standard cubic feet per day, with a corresponding 500% increase in power generation to boost capacity utilization of the industries.
Dr. Barrow explained that the NNPC had executed memoranda of understanding for the development of fuel ethanol processing plants with several state governments in the country, among which are Kogi, Yobe, and Ondo. Earlier, in a welcome address, the president of the Kaduna Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, Katsima, Dr. Farida Muhiba Dankaka, said the theme of this year's trade fair was deliberately chosen to complement the efforts of government in promoting economic growth through commerce and industry.
We'd like, on behalf of Katsima, welcome NNPC to the 40th Kaduna International Trade Fair. It is our hope that your presence this year will afford you the opportunity to educate your customers and associates on the opportunity available and the challenges you are facing.
Better days are ahead for petroleum products consumers across the country as the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, and the Major Marketers Association of Nigeria, MOMAN, exchanged vows to strengthen synergy and to ensure seamless supply of petroleum products across the country. Speaking during a MOMAN Chief Executive Officer's Strategy Retreat dinner held in Abuja, Group Managing Director of the NNPC, Dr. Mikanti Baru, said the corporation, as the supplier of last resort, would continue to strengthen its relations with MOMAN to avoid any supply gap in the downstream sector. Dr. Baru stated that MOMAN was a force to be reckoned with in the downstream sector of the petroleum industry, saying other players like the NNPC Retail Limited were in the business not to compete, but to complement the leadership role of MOMAN in the downstream value chain.
We understand each other. We know that we have the common good of ensuring that there is product everywhere in this country.
He stated that the Petroleum Industry Governance Bill, PIGB, when finally passed, would further strengthen and boost the business operations of MOMAN across the country, stressing that the MOMAN workshop was apt as it would galvanize the association to brace up for the imminent reforms in the oil and gas industry. On his part, MOMAN chairman Mr. Tunji Oyebanji assured that the association was a partner like no other, saying it was a dependable ally in the supply and distribution of petroleum product business in the country.
We have a very, very good level of collaboration and cooperation with NNPC. This will continue. It will even be taken to greater depths. We'll continue to work together for the benefit of Nigerians and for the country.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, has advised motorists and other petroleum product consumers not to engage in panic buying, saying there is enough product stock in 55 depots across the country. Listing the depots that have adequate petroleum product stock, NNPC Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs Division, Ndu Uhamadu, in a release in Abuja stated that 23 depots in Lagos, 7 in Port Harcourt, 11 in Warri, 6 in Calabar, and 8 in Kaduna were fully stocked with white products. He explained that 2 vessels of 50 million liters of premium motor spirit PMS, otherwise called petrol, would arrive the shores of Nigeria every day in April. The release assured Nigerians of an eventful Easter period as the just ended Yuletide, even as it cautioned depot owners or terminal operators not to sell petrol above the official ex-depot price of 133 naira, 28 kobo per litre. The corporation also advised petroleum products marketers not to sell the product above 145 naira per litre. The release said the subsisting ex-depot petrol price of 133 naira 28 kobo per litre was consistent with the Petroleum Products Pricing Regulatory Agency PPPRA's template and should be adhered to. He advised Nigerians to remain vigilant and volunteer information to the Department of Petroleum Resources, DPR, the industry regulator, or to any law enforcement agency around them on any station which sells petrol beyond 145 naira per litre.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, has commended leadership of the host communities of Nigeria, HostCom, for restoring sanity to the Niger Delta region, saying the relative peace had given operators the leverage to concentrate on production for the benefit of the national economy. Group Managing Director of the NNPC, Dr. Mikanti Baru, stated this while receiving in audience the HostCom national leadership led by its national chairman, High Chief Benjamin Style Tamaranebi, at the NNPC Towers in Abuja. He urged HostCom as a pan-cultural organization to partner with the NNPC in stemming the incessant pipeline vandalism, illegal refineries, and illegal crude oil bunkering in the Niger Delta, adding that the elimination of those vices would reduce to the barest level incidences of environmental pollution.
I have to thank the Oba of Benin for facilitating the emergence of HostCom, being midwife by its parent, Tromcom. However, with the tenacity and commitment on both sides, we thank the host communities for being able to restore sanity into the Niger Delta, for being able to give us the freedom to operate.
Earlier, National Chairman of HostCom, High Chief Tamaranebi, thanked President Muhammadu Buhari and Dr. Barrow for always granting host communities a listening ear, assuring that HostCom and TrumpCon would continue to collaborate with the federal government for the common good of all.
It's wise we come together and work in one entity to build and in order to project the productivity more than what you expect.
The Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, Dr. Mekanti Barrow, has charged the new president of the African Refineries Association, Engineer Anibo Kraga, to ensure efficient refineries regime under his steer as the leader of the African Downstream Association. Engineer Kraga, who is also the Chief Operating Officer of the NNPC Refineries and Petrochemicals, was elected president at the 14th Annual General Meeting, AGM, of the African Refineries and Downstream Association, ARA, held in Cape Town, South Africa recently. Dr. Barrow, who received the new president with his paraphernalia of office, congratulated him on his election and urged him to use his office to transform the African downstream landscape for good.
So congratulations once again for taking the mantle of the recession of ARA, and we hope that your era will be followed by a lot of trails of local government.
The new ARA president, Engineer Kraga, pledged to provide transformational leadership for the association during his tenure, which spans between 2019 to 2020.
ARA saw it fit to make sure that we recognize NNPC with the Diamond Award and also to confer the presidency for the 2019-2020 year on NNPC as represented by me.
For its management commitment for the quality deployment of the systems, applications, and product in data processing SAP, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation NNPC has been awarded the SAP Pinnacle Award. SAP is an enterprise resource planning tool, ERP, deployed to enhance and integrate processes. Its modules include financial accounting, controlling, human resources, plant maintenance, sales and distribution, and business intelligence. In an interview with Oil and Gas Forum crew in his office, the Group General Manager Information Technology Division ITD, Mr. Inwa Nladi, said the corporation was able to distinguish itself in the deployment of SAP as a business enabler.
The SAP today handles our logistics and procurement, handles our human resources, handles our finances. All the financials of NNPC are on the SAP system. And it also handles the line of business solutions, upstream solutions, refinery solutions, and as well sales and distribution solutions for the downstream. So that's why SAP is a critical pillar in our strategy. The second is data and intelligence.
Mr. Nladi stated that since the deployment of the tool across the value chain of the corporation, the NNPC's return on investment has improved and several leakages have been efficiently blocked.
When you look at the return on investment, when you look at the revenue leakages blockage, when you look at the improvement in efficiency and performance, you will agree with me that yes, the implementation of SAP in NNPC outweighs the cost of the solution.
Hello and welcome to the feedback segment of the program. My name is Julia Alta. The 40th Kaduna International Trade Fair is one of the many avenues the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation NNPC showcases its products and services to the world and equally enlightens the public on the safest ways of handling its products. Here are takeaways of views from visitors who thronged the corporation's pavilion at the fair.
I'm really impressed. I don't know some of the services they rendered, but after she has explained to me, I'm really impressed. The one that I'm most impressed with is the student scholarship that she says that they give. That's a very important thing because we need to do that to our students.
I learned that how we got our gas and our petroleum and the kerosene.
I know that they are the one who make the gas, who make the petroleum and the kerosene.
We achieve the crude oil by filtering them, and there are processes in which we filter the crude oil from diesel. So I have learned that.
You have learned a lot, and from what one of your staff that explained to us, he told us the process that you follow in order to separate the product, both the gas and the crude oil. So we've learned a lot about that.
I learned that the NNPC is not only an organization held by somebody, but an organization held by the whole country for everyone to gain from it.
From the responses, you will agree that more Nigerians are getting better enlightened about the corporation and its operations. And that's about the size of what we can accommodate on this segment. Please stay with us for more on the program.
Hello and welcome to another informative segment of the program. My name is Tola Ugwade. Did you know that the fall in oil prices, which began in mid-2014, as well as the pressure to reduce discretionary spend, had a significant influence on the strategies of the key players in the oil industry in Africa? Did you know that the oil sector has experienced far-reaching changes, ranging from a drop in exploration budgets, sale of weakened companies, and pullback of traditional oil majors? Did you also know that East Africa is the emerging hydrocarbon province of the 21st century after about 60 years of unsuccessful exploration? Did you know that so far 3 to 4 billion barrels of crude oil have been discovered onshore Uganda and Kenya? Did you also know that up to 200 trillion cubic feet of gas, equivalent to more than 30 billion barrels of oil reserves, have been discovered offshore Mozambique? Now you know. Please stay tuned for the rest of the program.
Hello and welcome to Global Crude Oil Outlook. Oil prices slipped with Brent edging down further from the $70 mark after weekly U.S. oil data showed a surprise build in crude inventories and record production. Brent futures were down 3 cents at $69.28 per barrel. Brent fell 6 cents Wednesday after touching $69.96, highest since November 12 when it last traded above $70. U.S. West Texas Intermediate WTI crude fell 8 cents or 0.1% to $62.38 per barrel. The contract dropped 12 cents in the previous session after briefly hitting $62.99, also the highest since November. Global benchmark Brent has gained nearly 30% this year, while WTI has gained nearly 40%. Prices have been underpinned by tightening global supplies and signs of demand picking up. Still, crude oil inventories in the United States rose by 7.2 million barrels last week as net imports climbed, the Energy Information Administration EIA said on Wednesday. Analysts had forecast a decrease of 425,000 barrels. U.S. crude production climbed 100,000 barrels per day to a record 12.2 million barrels per day after hovering around 12 million to 12.1 million barrels per day since mid-February, according to the EIA data. And that's it on this segment of the program. I am Solomon Yopave.
A 80% of our youths that are working today are engaged by NPDC and NPDC contractors. Most of the elders who still live home today to do security job are working also with NPDC. Scholarship, most of our children are being engaged, are being given scholarship by NPDC.
NNPC, we touch your lives in many positive ways.
No panic to buy fuel for black market. NNPC go bring fuel for all motorists.
NNPC say them get fuel jabrata for ground. Saboteur. All of una wey dey tiff with fuel and petroleum station where they hot smuggle and divert our fuel go neighboring country. Plus people where they build small tank and sell fuel past our government price of 145 naira per liter. Stop am o. Because why? Now big offense now. Now jail straight away. NNPC say our government no increase fuel price. Now still 145 naira per liter. So therefore no buy black market, no do panic buying. Enough fuel there we go round. Nigerians, if you see any petrol station where they sell fuel past our government price of 145 naira per liter, kia report to the nearest security agency when near you or the Department of Petroleum Resources. Na Ndu Ohamado, Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs Division, NNPC, sign this message.
That's been Oil and Gas Forum for this edition. Plenty of takeaways, as a matter of fact. Keep the date next week. Bye now.